Hello, everyone. Welcome to What We Watched. This is the premiere episode, and I am with Sibi, Rakib, and T Bone. This is the number one movie podcast in the world. How are you doing, guys?
Good, good.
Good.
Awesome.
We're doing all right.
Awesome. So, let's talk a little bit about some of the stuff that we've been watching in lockdown, which feels like it's been an eternity. Sibi, did you see Wonder Woman?
I did, in fact, watch Wonder Woman recently when it came out. Unfortunately, it wasn't anywhere near the first Wonder Woman movie or even my general expectations. I thought the story was just not there. It was too unbelievable. And I understand that we're in the age of superhero movies and things like that. So yes, a guy who can fly around or shoot missiles out of his hands or has a magic ring or talk to fishes. I get it. It's to the general audience, it doesn't make sense. But there's a reason why some of these movies have, they really capture a person because they make it so believable. But with Wonder Woman, the story, like as an aspiring fantasy author, the story in Wonder Woman just did not make sense. I think they made the problem so massive in a span of a few days, and then they fixed it in the span of a few minutes. Like you're talking about millions of people all over the world who heard the bad guy's message to wish for whatever they want, and then Wonder Woman, who took a punch to the face from Superman but could not fight some wind, was told everyone, give it all back. And in that few minutes, she was begging to everybody to give it all back. They all listened. No, they were
Yeah,
not.
they
There
all
was nobody
listened.
there.
Yeah.
There was nobody there that was asleep in a different time zone. There was nobody there that didn't understand
They
English.
all spoke the same language.
Yes. They all listened and they did exactly what the random voice in their head told them to do.
That's right. That's right.
Did you
I mean,
guys
we all
get
suffer from multiple disorder and voices in our head, right?
Did you
I
guys
mean,
get the vibes from when Goku was asking everyone to give him energy for Spirit Bomb?
I
Like
get
I
that.
can't help but feel sometimes these writers they wear their influences on their sleeves a little too apparently. It was
Yeah.
such a ridiculous plot device.
And not only that, from my point of view, like again, when it comes to female empowerment, we don't have a lot of female superheroes. And Wonder Woman did a really good job in positioning herself as someone who is very, charismatic, who is very, action packed and everything. Like her first movie, if you see the slow motion fight during the what was it, the World War I against Germany, like that was pretty cool. That slow motion fight was pretty cool. Even her fight against Ares, that was pretty cool. But in second movie, it just felt like they were pushing the female agenda a lot harder than it needed to be. You already have the audience. You don't have to try as hard. We can we can see what the plot is and we can drive our own conclusion. If you're spoon feeding everything, it just doesn't come out as very sophisticated movie. That's all.
That's fair. I can see that. I think that's because Wonder Woman has now become the premier movie for DC. They're banking on trying to get as many demographics to come and invest in this series as
Mhm.
possible, right? Like Harley Quinn was supposed to be that female character that they were going to push, and Harley Quinn is a great character, but they keep putting her in bad movies and they keep surrounding her with bad actors and actresses to support her. And also like Gal Gadot cannot carry a movie on her own. Like I just don't think she has that sort of
Do you
that,
really think so?
Presence.
not
Yeah.
in the role of a superhero.
Um,
She can't carry it the same way Margot Robbie can.
oof. I think they're both cut from the same plot. To be quite honest,
Yeah, I'm
nothing
honest.
against them, but like if I'm comparing their performances to I don't know Sandra Bullock or like but I don't see those actresses coming into the action and superhero genre either. So
They're
Love
also
Sandra
50
Bullock
years
though.
old.
they're
Did you watch Ocean's 9?
yes, yes, we did. Okay.
Oh.
I don't know.
That was a mess.
That was a mess. Yeah. It just honestly, I don't know what it is. It just feels. I think there was one. What was that? Atomic. What was the movie from Charlize Theron?
Atomic Blonde?
Yeah, Atomic Blonde. Like she was hyping it up so much, and I really like her. But I think who was it in some random YouTube comments like, yeah, this makes sense that she's flipping someone three times her size and beating the shit out of them and then moving on to the next one. I don't know why it is easier for us to believe Jason Bourne would do it, but then when she does it, I'm like, I don't think that's believable. I don't know how to deal with that perception to be quite honest, but whenever they're doing female action movies, they're trying to cater too much as a guy almost. Like their characteristics and everything, their mannerisms like a dude. I don't know if there's a feminine way to do it.
Like in all fairness, we're watching a woman who flies in an invisible plane with a lasso of truth that seems to get a new ability every other scene.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
and she is an Amazon, so like it's okay to suspend belief that like this teenage kid can save the world somehow and like harness abilities that are gifted to him from aliens. But why is it so hard to believe that Wonder Woman, who is the Amazonian princess who has been training all of her life, and she is a different race from what we know as human females. Why
Yeah.
can't we just assume that she does have these capabilities? And I get where you're coming from, because when you make someone look too beautiful, it just makes it hard to suspend belief, which in this case, Gal is very beautiful as a leading lady. And
Bro, she has a smile that would light up a room.
yeah, she really does. But that's the thing. Like, how do you take someone who's so radiant and
Yeah.
have them as a leading lady, but then you put them in a previously predominantly male environment and have them seem just as believable as other male characters?
Thing though, she had that one scene in Batman versus Superman where they were fighting against Doomsday, and then she comes in and blocks everybody with that. Now that was a wicked scene. The
Yeah.
way she did it, the music, the timing, the little bit of comedy relief was like, oh, I thought she was with you. A little bit. All of that was absolutely epic. All the people in the theater were screaming. I got out of my seat. I was like, whoa, that was an entrance. Then you follow it up by not being able to fight a sudden gust of wind, right? Like, and it was
So
ridiculous.
when you look at Wonder Woman compared to the Justice League, the movie, did you find her underwhelming or? I mean,
She
I
was
found
very
her.
underwhelming.
I found her underwhelming Justice League. I
Yeah.
mean, Justice League itself was a disaster. It was basically none of them could hold their own without Superman at the end. And Superman just comes in and just flicks his finger and
I
goes, all
mean, we
right, stay
already know that
safe.
about Superman in comic books. Like he will die, he will come back. He has every single power. There's no. He's basically like God mode.
He's OP, yeah.
Yeah.
They couldn't take down Steppenwolf, not even Doomsday. They couldn't take out Steppenwolf by themselves without Superman. So what was the point of the Justice League? What was the point of uniting them?
Money was the point.
They built a multi-billion-dollar plane to get there.
Oh, man.
Meanwhile, they didn't know that Wonder Woman can just turn planes invisible. They could have just taken any. They didn't really.
She's half goddess, right?
Yeah.
I mean, most of them can fly anyway. Like,
Yeah, that's the other thing. They really had the plane for Batman.
yeah.
Like they really had the plane for Batman. Well, even Aquaman can just like kind of swim
The
through and
Flash
everything.
can run. Aquaman can just like, if it's over water.
Summon a sky whale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Whale Lord, come for me.
Is the dragon for Zord's flute?
That would be incredible. I would watch that movie. 10 out of 10.
That's a crossover I need to see.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really think that DC is learning from their mistakes and they're trying to make good movies that are fun. Like they were trying to take the really dark stance with their heroes in the beginning, which I did like, but no one's going into the theater expecting Batman to be gloomy 100% of the time. Sometimes you want to see him flex his fuck you money. Sometimes you want to see Wonder Woman do something really campy and feminist. Sometimes you want to see the Flash be a goofball and punch 1,000 people while he's eating gelato. Like these are the things we want to see, and I think so long as they get the right writers and the right actors to front these roles, they'll be able to to at least provide movies comparable to Marvel.
Exactly. Like when Thor Ragnarok was done, like the way that the movie was, it's kind of different from all the other Marvel movies. It was more fun, action packed, all that stuff. How did they do that? That was like when I saw the movie, I was like that is a really good movie.
Without breaking stride, without breaking the story, they did
That's
Yeah,
that.
true.
That's what a long-term plan does for you.
Let me
yeah.
ask this: would you have preferred the dark, gloomy Snyderverse or the current DC EU?
Mm.
I don't know. Do we have to pick one or the other? Like,
Yeah,
I like
because
it.
right now they're
I
doing this new
like,
DCU and it's in shambles. There's no more Ben Affleck. There's no more what's his name? Henry Cavill.
well, yeah, because
Oh,
like
there is no Henry Cavill?
Yeah, they're all splintering and all the movies are independent now and there's no DCU per se, but they're all
That's
starring in each other's movies.
that's
And now we
comic books
lost
for you.
we lost Cyborg to the whole Warner Brother shenanigans,
yeah.
Wow.
and the Flash movie's coming out, but there's no Cyborg in it anymore. So
If
Yeah.
you want
what's
to
the point?
create a universe, you have to understand that all these movies are going to tie into each other. So you cannot write one story and then completely ignore the following story. Like you cannot make someone so OP and then in the next movie be like, oh man, I got a paper cut.
Yeah, power levels are
Like,
mismatched in the DCU, I believe.
Yeah.
yeah.
I wouldn't mind it as a gritty, dark setting, to be quite honest. Like, Watchmen style.
Hmm.
Yeah,
You guys still remember Watchmen?
yeah,
Like
it's the
the
same guy,
way,
right?
yeah. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind the dark style of that. And I mean, if power level imbalances is so much of an issue, maybe just make it like weirdly relatable to our current world so that it doesn't necessarily, I don't know. But I just feel like for DC, they capitalized so well on the Batman franchise, and that was very serious. And that was enjoyable too. But it's very hard to make, I guess, other characters come up in that sort of setting.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, how much will people pay to watch the first new movie of a series? Like, will you rather have like 3 or 4 trilogies where like they all make money independent of each other, or just massive 15 movie plan, right? Like we had the original Christian Bale, that trilogy, which was absolutely incredible. If they had built off of that and got the same dudes to work that worked on that to work on everything else,
Mm,
like they could have been in the game a lot earlier. And considering like when everyone asks what's your favorite superhero, like Batman is the most popular. I
yeah,
mean, right? Batman, and then afterwards you have your like your Spider-Mans and things like that, right? But
yeah.
everybody loves Batman. Why? Because he's a common person who's just like a buttload of money that he uses to help the people, right? He didn't have any special powers or anything like that, you know.
Mm,
Well, I
mm.
guess money is a power.
Yeah, infinite amounts of money is powerful.
Yeah, I mean, in this world, yeah, painfully aware.
What else have you guys been watching?
Well,
I
to be,
I, I've been stuck on Netflix honestly for most of this year.
I mean, if I'm being honest, like Netflix has the movie component, but for me, I like binging shows to be quite honest. So, Schitt's Creek, I started rewatching it. I finished all of it. Really loved it. Kim's Convenience. I know I'm listing of Canadian shows, but
Oh,
they are amazing. Okay, compared to American sitcoms, like Canadian shows are actually pretty funny.
yeah. I mean, for me, it's like gotta share the account and the TV time with the wife. And so one thing she's watching right now that I just cannot get over is Bling Empire. And I'm gonna be honest,
My wife too.
I cannot understand the curiosity or the yearning to want to know follow a bunch of rich people and what they do with their lives when it's just like, oh, my daddy didn't send me any money. How am I supposed to live? He doesn't love me. And I'm just like, brain cells. Like this is where like rich money goes to. Like I have no problem with you being rich, right? I have no problem with you being born into like a great situation.
Hmm.
But then if that stuff is like if you can barely put your own shoes on in the morning or cook your own food or look down on other people and shit like that and do things for clout, yeah, it's ridiculous to me.
I mean, I understand the basic premise where they're trying to see, okay, how do rich people live their life, right? What do they do, right? And then, I mean, I have also myself sat in a few of those episodes.
Gotta learn, when you're rich,
For
so
the
you don't
love of
screw
God,
up.
never, 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 never. If you have this much amount of money that you're doing, I mean, God bless them. I don't hate them. However way they made their money, they got their bread. God bless. But if I were to ever come to that sort of money, honestly speaking, give back,
Yeah.
do something productive.
Okay, Rakib, I'm gonna cut you off right there. That makes no sense. We are watching Netflix shows. We're not watching Make a Wish
No, I
Foundation.
know, I
The
know, I
entire
know.
point of these shows is to show people who are not as
Excess.
rich as they seem, but like giving them this
Wait,
amazing lifestyle, and then you want to see how they interact. People watch those shows because it's a lifestyle that we never will get to experience, or even if we do, it's so ridiculous. That's why the Kardashians have been rich and popular for so long. They have the longest running reality TV show because of that. People want to see what it's like to break a nail and then try to find someone during lockdown who's going to replace that.
You know
Like,
the crazy thing is, you know who came up with the idea to put the Kardashians on a show like that? Apparently, it was Ryan Seacrest.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
I'm like, wow, the man was just sitting down one day and it's like, why don't you guys make a reality show out of your life? Oh,
Ryan
okay.
Seacrest runs Hollywood secretly. Who would have known?
Next time,
I mean,
Idol.
to go
That's why he's the
from
first face you see every New Year's.
Now we know.
no, but the fact that like you go from I mean how Kim Kardashian got started from the explicit video from there to here, honestly, it's not like it happened overnight. She put in work, everyone else put in work, but the sheer level of narcissism,
Oh
come
man.
on, it's just like too much.
I
Yeah.
don't think Rakib actually likes movies or television shows. Narcissism is the lifeblood of all of these actors.
Yeah, and actors, musicians, lawyers, doctors.
People love drama. That's what it is. Like sometimes that's the reason they go on this show. It's like, I'm not gonna win, but I'm gonna get 100,000 Instagram followers.
Look
Like
at
look
Love
at
Island, exactly.
look at Indian Matchmaker. None of those people are.
Bachelor.
Oh, The Bachelor. The Bachelor
Yeah,
set the template for that, man. These people don't care about love. They care about all the notoriety they're gonna get.
they're gonna get the Instagram following.
I don't know if you
That's the
guys
only
know. I don't know if you guys know this. So the Indians are also getting into the matchmaking game.
Yeah,
They have that show on Netflix.
Indian Matchmaker.
Yeah, oh, Indian matchmaker. I just know it's Seema Bhavi from Mumbai. That's all I know.
Mumbai.
Bro, she introduces herself to everyone. I'm Seema from Mumbai. That's it. Everyone is supposed to know who she is, and that's it. Like she's
Like
like, yeah,
he's the
I
only
just
Sima in Mumbai, right?
It's
there's
better. Have you
one
guys watched
Seema.
Home Buyers on HD channel? The two people who are looking for like a multi-million-dollar home and they have the weirdest jobs when they introduce themselves. I'm a proctologist and I'm a dog talker. For a home between $2 million.
Wait, do you say
Bedroom.
Dog Tucker?
Yeah, most obscure jobs, and they're like looking for the most expensive shit. I'm like, damn, I should get into this business.
Yeah, that's a meme.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but with the Indian Matchmaker, like I've seen like those guys doing interviews after on news channels, and then it's like they're still salty. Like the main dude who apparently ghosted the main girl was just like, oh, they didn't edit it properly. Because like she was really the one who stood me up, but nobody ever hears my side of the story. And I'm like,
What did you
what are you
expect,
doing
guy?
here, bro?
What did you expect?
I'm trying to watch this news. Why is this guy on here? Like,
You signed up for TV. What did you expect?
Yeah, what did you expect? Like you are going to be exploited.
yeah, and then there's certain like moments where they'll do something, and then whoever's watching at the time will be like, "Oh, that's incredible how they did that." And I think I will bet you any amount of money that that's not how it went down first. They said something, and then the editor who has the camera on their face, like, "Can you do this again, but in this way?" Right?
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, "Oh, okay, sure. That." And then everyone else is just like, "Oh, well, isn't that so sweet? It's incredible that they did it that way." Oh my god! If I
Yeah,
could
I mean,
rewind moments of my own life, man, I'd be a millionaire.
Welcome back to What We Watched, the greatest movie podcast in the world. So, before the break, we were talking a little bit about stuff that we were watching on streaming platforms. But let's talk about something a bit more positive and not as shitty as reality TV. I don't know if you guys heard about AMC.
Of course.
Yeah, so they were able to avoid bankruptcy, which is pretty good. And they also had a lot of luck with the stocks recently. But it's crazy that AMC, the world's largest movie theater chain, will be halting its bankruptcy after successfully raising $917 million USD in new equity. That's roughly $170 million more than what the company would have needed to survive, which is crazy. Hypebeast, the most reputable source that I know, says that AMC's business has been taking a huge blow amid the COVID-19 pandemic, and the company expressed on numerous occasions its doubt on how long its theaters could survive. Any talk of an imminent bankruptcy for AMC is completely off the table now, says their CEO. Today, the sun is shining on AMC. After securing more than $1 billion of cash between April and November of 2020 through equity and debt raises, we are proud to announce that over the last 6 weeks, we have raised almost $1 billion more.
Surprised.
Isn't
Yeah,
that
I heard
incredible?
that news. Yeah, I heard that news. I mean, AMC doing well is honestly, like if you think about movie theaters, that's a classic experience. You can't really take it out. Like you're going on a date, first date, right? Go on a movie date. You don't know what to do during the weekends or on a Tuesday, go to the movies, right? Just grab popcorn, settle down for a movie experience, surround sound system and everything. I think it's just a short term thing, just because of the pandemic situation. We haven't been going out, but it's a good thing that they have had that infusion of cash. They have had that infusion of capital, to be quite honest, because um, we don't want that going away. Well, I don't want it going away, to be quite honest. So
I think one good point that you mentioned, Rakib, is that before people were talking about how the movie theater, the theater business was gonna go out of business because everyone's just gonna stay at home and watch things on their streaming platform. But now that's all we've been doing since COVID started, and people are already bored about it. They thought it
exactly,
was okay at the time when the theater was still an option, but now the theater is not an option. It's like, oh man, I can't watch the same garbage over and over again, and then there's so much new content. Like, what am I supposed to look for? Right? You're overwhelmed. But
hmm
then the actual idea of going to a theater and watching a movie that you've been waiting for so long on the big screen with surround sound and it's all dark and you're with your friends or everything. Like if we were to watch, there's a massive difference between us watching Avengers Endgame at home on a streaming platform
exactly.
versus that moment in the theater when Captain America picks up Mjolnir. I hope I said that.
Remember, we all shouted.
We all jumped and shouted like
That was insane.
crazy, man. Yeah, but the classic experience of like having your popcorn, taking a date there. I know like many of my like early dates from going to a movie theater because you can kill several hours and then you always have the excuse you're going like,
Nah, bro, you pay movie tickets so that you can sleep. There's a difference.
that's true. I have to all the
You do that. Other people
I
don't
do
do
that.
that.
I do that.
We go to see movies. You take a comfortable nap in your AC. Like I don't know why you do
I don't know, man. Sometimes I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, oh man, what a great scene.
this.
What was the last movie you guys saw in theaters?
Well,
Oh,
Tenet.
shit.
Now it
I
just
don't remember, bro.
for it.
Yeah, Tenet for me. Yeah,
Tenet.
like
I
as soon as the lockdown thing was like removed for a little bit, let's go to the movies.
Yep. Yeah.
And they did a good thing. Like at least the theater in my area, they were bringing back old movies. They were showing like the Harry Potter movies again.
Nice.
What was
Yeah.
it? Jurassic Park was the highest grossing film last year in theaters.
Yeah,
Really?
Jurassic Park too. Yeah,
Yeah, because they re-released it in theaters and people were just watching it.
because they just wanted something to do.
Yeah,
You'll never take that experience away. Like people in the 1920s were going to, at least I think, I don't know, don't quote me on
no,
that.
they have been.
Silent,
Yeah,
silent films, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. They were going there. Like they even like plays and stuff. Like plays are still around. Like musicals, like the Lion King musical is a great thing to go to. Like no one, something like that you need to experience, like sitting in an auditorium watching a performance on a stage, right? It's not just on a stage, but on an actual movie theater. There's just something about that you are willing to pay the money for it, right?
Mm-hmm. It's just a real life experience that's happening in front of you. Like, I know you guys rag on Yuck Yuck comedy.
No, it's not us.
But honestly, like plays, theater production, and stuff like that, even though they might film it and they might put it up on digital media and all that stuff, there's a whole different experience as being there and actually listening to it. You can't compare that real life experience to what you're getting on screen, to be quite
Yeah.
honest. And that's
There's
why
something.
I don't think cable will, like, this sort of subscription model like Netflix and stuff will ever truly take over. You're still gonna have the medium.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well,
I wanted to say something.
yeah. What's
I'll
up?
be opposite of this. So do you guys remember back in like April when Trolls 2 came out
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the big controversy around it being released on stream platforms instead of theaters?
Yeah, yeah.
And how Paramount was really shaken about it, and they were going to ban all the movies made by Universal
Mm-hmm.
if they decide to release movies on streaming platforms and theaters.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we're here, now we're seeing that the shift because of COVID and how long it's lasted. We're seeing a shift from specific only theater releases and more of a both releases. And I think theater companies are becoming more okay with that. But I think theaters are going to become more niche in the future, as more younger generations get used to watching stuff on both platforms. And theaters will, I think, the prices will keep going up and become even more niche. And it's going to become for more of a novelty comfort experience.
More like those VIP
Yeah,
theaters.
I think tickets will be $30 for like, oh, you get to sit in a like nice comfy chair and watch a movie in theaters, or I can stream it at home for like what did Disney do? They released Mulan for $30, right? And
Mm-hmm.
we want, who's gonna pay $30 when I can pay $20 at the theater? And when we watched on stream, it was really terrible, and no one wanted to pay for it. I
Yeah.
think there's a new dynamic shift, and the production companies are trying to release on both platforms, but I think theater companies are really scared about that because their money comes from people coming to the front door, but they don't make their money the majority of the time through the movies themselves.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly. It's a
popcorn.
concession.
That's where
Yeah.
they make their money through that way.
But that's where I'm leading to as well. Like, if you think about, say, for example, malls right now, I know we're deviating away, but if you think about malls and others, these are like older concept. Theaters are older concept where you're just going in, you're paying for the movies, and you're getting concession. I think somehow AMC needs to incorporate something in their business model that allows people to congregate in that area. That's where your money makers. That's where you're getting your concession stand. That's where you're getting
Yeah,
your all the other subsidiary stuff. I mean, sure, the theater experience is happening, and I do agree with you that it might go more towards the VIP sort of situation because that's like, I mean, who wouldn't mind like sitting in
if you
a
have a 200-man theater and you're only filling up 50 seats now because of streaming platforms,
yeah.
what's the point of having a 200-man theater when you can make
Exactly.
50-man theater
Might
with
as
nice
well give
recliner seats?
dinners, beer, and
Yeah,
stuff like that, and
exactly,
make it a
exactly.
really nice, comfortable environment.
It
But they
doesn't.
need to. Yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, they need to move away basically from the model of, oh, they're just coming in for movies and they're buying popcorn. No, you got
Yeah,
to think more in depth about how you can keep them engaged and keep them in the theater and, spend
because there's
more time
competition
over
now.
there.
Yeah,
We
it's
kind of
competition
have
for
that
viewership.
concept though with there's arcades in theaters and now there's restaurants in theaters and you can order like beers and more food. Like you can actually have your dinner while waiting for your movie to start in your seat,
Hmm.
right? And like the arcade is like, I know that's an old school concept for some of the younger generation, but those kind of games don't can really attract people to get them to stay there for a lot longer, right? Like I understand
Hmm.
it's $1 for the game and then you have to buy the machine and things like that, but
Mm.
if they can come up with some sort of concept behind that to make it an overall fun experience kind of place. Like you can
Diversify
combine,
your portfolio.
yeah,
Hmm.
combine Dave and Buster's with a theater, right? Like, what are people gonna do when they're tired and they run out of money or something? All right,
Yeah,
what are they gonna do when they come for 2 hours early for a movie? Nah, they're gonna chill. They're gonna play their games. They're gonna blow their
exactly.
money.
Yeah.
They're gonna lose money on the crane game and things like that. And
Hmm.
then they'll go and they'll watch their movie after.
Now,
Speaking of
what
movies, what's up? Sorry.
I was going to say that what is stopping them from actually doing a subscription? Because I know MoviePass was trying to do that at one point, remember? where they
yeah.
were like $12 or $15 per month, and you get to go and see any movies. Um, they should have stuck on that, to be quite honest. I don't know why this happened the way it happened. MoviePass obviously went out of business, or like
It's
they're
a
in
good
near
idea.
bankruptcy.
It's a good idea, and then but I can see them like charging like an extra couple bucks to pick your seat, which isn't terrible per time,
Yeah,
right? Like you
yeah,
pay $15 and then you pay like an extra $3 4 every single time for your seat. It
yeah.
just gets it adds up if you have like five people in your family and you're paying $75 for a month, and it's like, oh man, I gotta go to a movie every week to make sure it's worth it, right? That's the
That's like a battle pass. It's like you want to keep playing the game, right?
Mhm.
To finish that battle pass so you can get back into the next season without paying.
Yeah,
Same mentality. You want to keep that your audience or that person interested in keep coming back.
exactly. Yeah.
And if they pay a premium, then they feel obligated to use it,
Yeah,
right?
feel obligated.
I
Like
would
I can
totally
tell you,
pay
I
for.
only yeah.
What's
Go ahead,
up?
go ahead.
No, talk. What's up?
I can tell you, I've only played some online games this season just because I have to finish that battle pass because I don't want to waste my money,
Yeah.
and I put in hours just for that sake. Ricky could tell you.
I like Rakib's idea of a theater that's more specialized because, like, for example, Demon Slayer has been out for so long and we still don't even have a possible release date for it over here. And that is Japan's most successful movie. In fact,
Yeah.
it's been submitted for an Academy Award, which
Wow. Really?
I honestly think, depending
Incredible.
on what the shortlist is going to look like, it will get on that shortlist and it has a really good shot of winning. So
Do you?
if there were theaters that didn't just show the most recent dub for the Dragon Ball Z movie, if there was a theater that showed international movies that also included anime, that also included like popular Korean films that come out, and it's not something that we have to wait to get on Netflix, I would totally pay for that experience.
Yes. Yes, I completely agree with you. Where you have, I mean, they already kind of don't they incorporate like esports and stuff already in those AMC theaters and stuff like that?
For the
Yeah,
premium
they do
matches,
Yeah,
yeah.
sometimes.
yeah. So just branch out, be creative, do stuff like especially foreign films. I mean, last year what Parasite won, right?
Yeah.
Like they have some capable like I don't know if you guys have seen Korean movies. I'm a big Korean movie buff. I
I've seen.
don't, and they're amazing. I mean, from a movie point of view, from an entertainment point of view, there's no harm in you branching out. And when you're afraid of, oh, is there going to be enough demand or no, just try it.
The Handmaiden was one of my favorite Korean films of all time. It's from the same director as Oldboy, and
Hmm.
it's really good. Like you could probably find it on Amazon Prime. I think that's where I saw it. But like you're right. Like there are so many good Korean films that come out. There are so many good international films that we only ever hear about when they're like Oscar worthy. But like
Exactly.
not everyone liked Parasite, and Parasite is not even in my top 10 of Korean films of all time. It's not. It's a good film for what it is, but it's something that it was pushed more for its story in relation to what Korean culture is like, which is
Yeah.
cool. But let's get like dramas, like movie adaptations of dramas and stuff, which will definitely sell. Like a lot of people would be interested in that too.
Yeah.
The thing about Demon Slayer is, like, now that it's on Netflix, I've seen other animes on Netflix, but that is actually made Canada's top 10 trending. And I'm
Oh,
pretty sure it's
really?
made other countries' top 10 trending.
Yeah.
From my personal point of view, that was one of the greatest series I have ever seen. And I watched that
It
when I
is.
had just turned 30 years old.
It is. It is. In my opinion, one of the better animes and within the last 10 years, animes and manga, and
Yeah.
it's that movie was really good.
Oh,
Really,
you
really,
saw,
really,
you
really
saw,
good.
wait, the movie? You saw Mugen Train?
No, but my friend who lives in Japan saw Mugen
Oh,
Train.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
And trust me, it's like like I got a lot of different friends groups are all diverse, and every single one of them has a guy in there who's just like, I'm just like, yo, man, Mugen Train. They're like, yo, I can't wait until it gets pirated, man. Someone get that garbage over here, right? Like honestly, but like the thing is with Demon Slayer, I could have watched that as a Saturday morning cartoon when I was growing up, 8 9 years old. I could have watched that while I was in university, struggling to get marks, and I needed something to distract myself. I could watch that when I am a old graying man, if that will ever happen, right? Like I hopefully make it that far, knock on wood. But at all those times, I think I would have enjoyed Demon Slayer, especially episode 19. And I have to thank you guys to thank when I started watching it. You guys told me, don't Google it.
I
Don't look
fucking
up
hate
what
modern
happened.
day weebs.
I hate when it gets spoiled.
And
I
then,
hate
so I
modern day
did not.
weebs.
I did not. And I binged. I sat there. And then when I got to episode 19 and I got to the last few minutes, I'm like, why are these guys hyping up an episode like, oh my God?
Don't say it. I haven't seen it
I
yet.
won't say it. I won't say it. I was just like, that's why. Rewind, watch that again. Oh my God.
There's a new thing where there's like a collaboration between Korea and Japan when it comes to anime. With Crunchyroll releasing
Yeah.
a whole bunch of Korean-made content now, and I'm watching a lot of it. It's really it's good. It's a new fresh take.
Hmm. Hmm.
Did anyone here watch Queen's Gambit?
Yes.
What did you think of it?
Let me just I watched it 3 times.
Wow, 3 times.
3 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
So either you love chess or you're repressing your alcoholism, and this is how you stick with the series.
Here's the thing about Queen's Gambit and like a lot of other sports or real life, based on real life movies or series. When I watch a lot of sports documentaries like basketball, soccer, I'm not gonna lie, like the actor who plays those people and the games that they played out are so fake. No one is ever gonna do 3 bicycle kicks in a row for every goal and jump above the crossbar or dunk from halfway. Like honestly, Space Jam was more realistic than some of the other basketball movies I've seen. Right?
Oof.
When it came to Queen's Gambit, I was watching them play their moves. Not just their moves, their mannerisms when they were like at the board, the way they were like touching their clocks, the way they were acting, the way they were like studying the board. Everything looked so realistic. It was as though I was watching an actual like world championship chess match.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For me, honestly, like I used to play chess before, just on and off. Like when I was like what 7, 8, around that, very young. But watching the show brought that love for the game back. I don't know what it is. Just the way that I mean, the casting was excellent.
Yeah.
She was a joy to watch.
Yes.
But yeah, pun intended. But she the way that she went about in her career progression and the way that she talked about the game itself. I mean, there's a reason why chess, so it's basically shot up by like 600, 800%, like during the pandemic. That much of an impact. It was not necessarily just her whole life story, is how she's approaching the game as well.
Yeah.
And to Sibi's point, it genuinely felt like they were actually playing proper games. And fun fact, almost all the games from there, not almost, all the games from there are actually replay of famous games from the history.
Yeah. They have
Now
they
speaking red during this
Yeah.
pandemic.
yeah, and I love that. I love that. The fact that the guy who tried to make the series so many times was rejected for how long? Like 30 years because nobody would be interested in chess. It's not so much that you're not interested in the game. It's just like you're interested in the people who are playing the game, which makes you interested in the game as well.
Yeah.
Right? Like I coach soccer, and a lot of kids out there, they want to be the next Cristiano, they want to be the next Messi, and to emulate after people that they idolize is incredible. And the fact that now that people are watching Queen's Gambit and they're just like, hey, I want to be like Beth. It's like, yeah, go for it. And I've been playing chess like all my life. Like I've entered tournaments, I have a rating and everything like that. And I was playing before, and now I'm so happy to see everybody getting into it again because
Wait, is it young people getting into it, or is it just people our age getting into
It's
watching
really
it?
almost all from across all generation. I don't think I've seen like a really huge trend on one side.
I,
And yeah, sorry.
no, I'm sorry. I just want to say there is a trend towards women playing now because of
Oh
her,
yeah. I mean,
which I think is really great. I've only in all my chess tournaments, I've only ever played against one girl. I was like 16, and she was Toronto's under 10 champion, and she beat me. It's very close, but like
Yeah,
I was a
sure.
short kid, and she was barely up to my chest.
you can see the hurt in his eyes. You can see the hurt in his eyes.
I remember
No,
Your
no.
greatest rival.
Okay, honestly, no joke. There are kids that are extremely smart in chess. I don't know what it is. It's like child's brain. Like when they're looking at the solution, somehow they're not encumbered by so many different tactics. Like, yeah, this works, that works. This is how it's gonna go. There's no really like huge planning that goes into it. I feel like.
there's a pattern. They look at the board, they see every piece, they've actually analyzed every piece or what they move and then what would happen in the next move and what their opponent is going to do.
Mm.
That's literally like Doctor Strange. I've looked into the future and 14 million different possible scenarios, right? That's what they're doing on the
Yeah,
spot.
exactly.
All of them, you lose.
Oh damn, then I may as well resign, right?
That's
Like,
Also, how many times have you been very surprised by the show, the way that some of the events unfolded? Like, say, for example, when she went in the very first few one, when she went downstairs to meet the janitor and play over there, how many of you guys thought, oh shit, something bad is gonna happen? Like, I don't know, like
I
molestation or
didn't. It's
something
not
like
that kind of show.
I thought the janitor
Yeah.
was a cool guy.
Right, but no, I mean, honestly, and then there's the one where, whatchamacallit, Borgo, sorry, I don't know if I'm giving spoilers, is that okay?
I never watched it. So
Yeah,
I don't
it's
even know what
okay.
you're talking about.
I mean, near the end, when even she beats her opponent is like, bro, great game, amazing game, thank you. Like, that's positiveness. That's like whole
Right.
shift from what
They
normal
grounded the
said.
series by just showing that it's chess. Like it's not like end of the world.
Exactly.
These people aren't playing for billions of dollars or anything.
Exactly.
It's literally just people who play chess and they also have lives outside of chess, but we're only focused on what the topic at hand is, which is this board game.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was one of my favorite shows to cap off the year. I really enjoyed it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys have any suggestions or recommendations for other movies or shows?
Well,
Mm.
Go ahead.
for me, the only thing I can recommend is something that I have to look for shows that me and the wife can both watch. She likes drama. I like physical competition or competition in general, even if it's like a staring contest, which is why we started watching MTV's The Challenge. Oh man, I just watch those challenges. I don't really care for the drama, but when I see like those physical challenges they go through, I just think, man, I could beat this guy. He's got
Could
50
you?
pounds of muscle on me, but like 6 inches of height. I think I can take him.
Yeah, I can take him.
T-Bone, what about you?
I'm watching The Expanse right now. It's a sci-fi show on Amazon. It's like it's very similar to Andromeda, if you guys watch that, or Firefly.
Nice. How many seasons?
So far, it's on its fifth season.
Oh shoot, that's an investment.
Yeah, and the budget's there. It's really good.
I
Oh,
can't
good to
remember the
hear.
last time I watched a show that had that many seasons.
Yeah, they die off really quickly after first two seasons. Most
Oh.
shows now,
Okay.
because you gotta have that viewership. If you don't, then you don't work. They let you go very easily.
Let it
What
go.
about you, Rakib?
Well, right now, unfortunately, my time is being taken over by studying. So for me, mindless comedy does the trick. Right now, I'm watching Superstore. 5 seasons of this. It's it's not amazing, but honestly, if you want to just chill, settle down with dinner, and just watch a show, it's a nice, 30 minutes, 40 minutes gone, and you don't have to worry about it. It's
Yeah.
a pretty cool show. I mean, this is about Superstore, essentially all the employees that work over there and all the struggles that go through it. My funniest is the ones that I find funny are like small snippets of weird stuff that customers does that only retail employees can tell you. Like I think what was it? Like literally today I saw an episode where one of them was like sniffing the scented candle and they took a bite out of the candle and just put it back.
Nice.
Okay.
You
Sounds like
have seen
America.
yeah, exactly. It is America. I mean,
Sounds like
but
Walmart.
Yeah, exactly. It
Please,
is kind of passion after Walmart.
nobody eat candles, please. All right, we're not recommending this. But I want to thank everyone for coming and listening in to us. This is What We Watched, the greatest movie podcast in the world. I was joined with Rakib, T-Bone, and Sibi. Guys, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for watching. Take care.
Take care.
Take care, guys.